Thank you, DJ Mike Brady, for this resubscription. Great to see you here. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another week of Draw Something. My name's Andy, and this is live drawing by request. I'm going to be doing a drawing here for the next 2 hours or so, maybe even more than that. And tonight's theme, let me go ahead and get that brought up here, is look inside yourself. As in, the inside of the human body. So I'm going to transition to the multi-view here. So yeah, basically anything involving the inside of the human body, although, you know, it could also be, you know, like the outside of the body, like you want to have a drawing request with hands or feet or noses or ears. That's cool too. Just drop your suggestion in the chat, and I will add it to my list. Oh, Mike Brady, excellent. Great to hear. I could go ahead and start with one of them. You want to throw one out at me. That's an awesome one, Cindy. Thanks so much. All right, butterflies in her stomach. Here we go. Alright, so just drawing the outline here, or tracing the outline here. Alright, so I'm got the stomach drawn out. Drawing the first butterfly here. So I got, with it being the stomach and all, there is, of course, kind of a vat of acid here at the bottom. That's sizzling away. Hey Danny, how's it going? Oh, I'm sorry you've been feeling sad, Danny. That's no fun. Alright, so two of the butterflies so far are just, you know, flapping happily, just enjoying their time. This one's, just narrowly misses getting hit by a spurt of acid, so he's got kind of a worried expression on his face, like, "Oh boy." Danny, I'm glad. Let's see. Probably fit one or two more in here. Should make it a little bit crowded because that's what really adds to the effect. If they're like, if the stomach is so full of butterflies that it's actually starting to quake a little bit because there's so many occupying that space. So I'll add a couple more in here. Alright. Alright, so I got butterflies in a stomach. Does this look good to you, Cindy? Do you have any suggestions for anything you'd like me to add, or does this look good? I'll go ahead and bring up the close-up view so you can get a better look at it. You know, I forgot to add some antennas onto these. Should definitely do that. Alright, I think that'll do it. Go ahead and finish it off here for the lovely Mrs. DJ. Data and initial it. Hello, the lovely Mrs. DJ. Do you like how this drawing turned out? I'll bring up the large view again. Actually, Cindy, ironically, most of them are pretty happy. The only one who's kind of nervous is this one that's just narrowly avoiding getting hit by acid that's spurting out of the vat of acid at the bottom of the stomach. Kind of a hazard there. But good, I'm glad you like it. Alright, let me go ahead and start on drawing here. Thanks, lovely Mrs. DJ. Alright, so right now I'm doing a story drawing, so it's going to be a little more complex. So, if you've ever gotten a scrape before on your body, usually the wound will close up, the blood will clot up, and it'll create a scab. So those are platelet cells that join together. So what I'm drawing here is basically a classroom of platelets. They're just kind of sitting in class, you know, doing their thing, just listening to the teacher drone on, Bueller, Bueller. But what's ultimately going to happen is they're going to have a scabbing drill where suddenly the wound alarm goes off, which would normally go off when the person they're inside scrapes their knee or cuts themselves. It'll have an alarm go off, whoop, 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 and they'll just have to spring into action. So I'll get to that in a minute. Alright, so drawing the platelet cells sitting at their desks. I'm gonna go ahead and get a close-up view here so you can see it a little better. All right, so I got this first scene of them just sitting at the desk. So this one's falling asleep because he's so bored. And next scene I'm drawing here is the wound alarm going off. There we go. Alright, so the wound alarm is going off, so it's time for a wound drill. Or, yeah, it's a wound drill that's happening. So they all gotta activate. So I didn't realize this until I was researching earlier today for this stream, but so what these platelets do is they just are there's kind of these round cells initially, but when they activate, they spawn all these little tentacles that they can use to cling with each other, because they gotta create this woven web to create a scab. Actually, hold on a second. It's actually a scab drill, not a wound drill. I'm sorry. Alright, so I'm drawing this little platelet right here, spouting out its little tentacles. Alright, so there we go. So now they gotta cling together. So now they're all clinging together. Alright, now here comes the big punchline. So they're supposed to just, create this nice, even, scab, just this nice, even pattern that can go over a open wound so it can heal. But what they end up actually doing is, creating this big, just a big mess. So yeah, as is expected for young young kids, they aren't the best at assembling in an orderly fashion. So they just all stick together super awkwardly and just in this big old clumsy mess. That's probably not going to be a very effective scab. Alright, so there we go. They try to do a scab drill at school. They activate, they clean together, they end up creating this big sloppy mess. DJ Mike Brady, this is some platelets that are sitting in class, and they then have a scab drill. So they have to activate themselves and clean together to form a scab, but they end up creating this big old sloppy mess because they don't know how to coordinate properly. That's pretty much the idea. Gonna go ahead and do something a little more simple this time. I'm gonna do like a single. Yeah, Mike Brady. I thought that would be a funny idea. I mean, it's very much like a fire or an earthquake. It's just something that'll suddenly happen. You gotta be prepared for it. When that wound alarm goes off, you gotta be on your game. All right. Let me see what I got here. Can check that one off the list. Alright, I got another one. This one's gonna just be one big single shot drawing, not the multiple panel one like the last one. I think that'll be easier. I won't have to zoom in so you can see it easier. But yeah, what my next drawing is gonna be a tongue using an uvula. Oh, a funny bone, Mike Brady. That's a good one. Let me go ahead and add that to my list. Funny bone. Oh, thanks, lovely Mrs. DJ. She's picking up all the puns I didn't even think of. All right, so the idea, so the scenario I'm thinking here that came to my mind is he's at a nightclub doing stand up. Yeah, Mike Brady, these are, yeah, both of these were great prompts. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't even think of this morning when I was brainstorming. All right, so I'm trying to think of what's a good joke he could be saying, or a bad joke. It could be a good joke or a bad joke. Something corny would probably be fitting. Let me go ahead and trace this over. You can barely see it. Mike Brady, that's a good one. Get it? Tracing over the microphone. Alright, so this table here in the corner, you got one bone who's laughing his backside off, and you got this other, his wife or girlfriend there that's just just completely unimpressed. Oh, hold on, hold on, hold on. Wanted to have some fancy light fixtures here because it's a fancy nightclub or just a fancy club, fancy comedy club. That's a good one for it. So I'm gonna have them be bone shaped. I have the lights be on the ends here, like the end caps. Oh, lovely Mrs. DJ, that's no good. You gotta wake it up somehow. If you, bet if you like put an air horn like right next to your foot and then set it off, it'll wake it right up. Oh no, I gotta make it even fancier. They're not just hanging from these rods, they're hanging from chains. They're extra fancy light fixtures. Oh yeah, Cindy, I can totally do that. Oh, your voice is. Oh, I see where you're going with this. Planetary 121, welcome. How are you doing tonight? No Charlie Horse request. I mean, I guess that could technically fit the theme. Yes, indeed, Mike Brady. Oh, lovely Mrs. DJ, that means a lot to me. Thank you. So glad you're here. Nice, there we go. I got a curtain behind behind the stage. Words are coming out of my mouth properly now, I think. Good. I'll go ahead and just draw one more table here. Try to fill in some space here. It's looking a little bit empty around the stage. Lovely Mrs. DJ, you might wanna get that looked at. I don't know if they're supposed to do that. I care about your health, you know. I don't want anything bad to happen in here. Yeah, Mike Brady, I was kind of picking up on that. And yeah, I don't know why I haven't been adding those to my list. Hold on just a second. Let me see here. We got my foot is asleep, voice is hoarse, and heart is bursting with pride. Got those on my list. I'll start on those in just a minute. Planetary, I don't believe anyone has suggested that yet. If you would like to suggest it, go right on ahead. I'll add it to my list. Yeah, Planetary 121, I was thinking that. I was thinking that too. That'd be a good one. Alright, I think that'll do. For the lovely Mrs. DJ, once again. Update it. Initial it. There we go. Let me go ahead and bring up the close-up. It's called hemoglobin. All right. Thank you so much, Cindy, for that awesome request. 2 awesome requests so far tonight. I think I'm going to go ahead and take on Planetary 121's request. Alright, so here's something I'm wondering is if this is a debate, who is the large intestine debating against? Maybe it's the small intestine, maybe they're fighting over whether big or small is better. Maybe the large intestine's slogan is bigger is better. And then the moderator can be the brain. I think that would work. So here I'm drawing the large intestine at his stand. Bigger is better. Alright, there we go. So I got the large intestine here. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw the small intestine over here. Gonna change his pose a little bit. Instead of just sitting there kind of just casually, he's gonna be like, "You're full of crap!" So he's kind of craning his neck, his body, the top part of his body. He doesn't really have a neck. He doesn't really have hands. He's just a tube. They're both just tubes. This was a great request. Thanks, Scott. Actually, yeah, I'll leave this the size it is. Alright, so there you go. The large intestine slogan is bigger is better. The small intestine slogan is the best things come in small packages. Hey, Irene Pena Music, awesome to see you here. Let me get a shout out for you. Irene Pena Music is an awesome singer-songwriter here on Twitch. Definitely go give her a follow if you're not following her already. And I think I might need to check my shout-out command because it hasn't been working lately. Let me go ahead and just do this here. Alright, there we go. There's the link. Go click it and go follow her if you're not following her already. Mike Brady, I'm sorry. I already tried the shout-out. I gotta check on it. It's not working right now. I'm not sure why. I remember having that problem a few months ago, too. Putting some stink lines around the large intestine because he is indeed full of crap. It's just a natural fact. Yeah, Irene Pena, that's just a funny way of saying it's about the inside of the human body. So the heart, the brain, the intestines. I'm doing a debate between two intestines right now. It's the large intestine and the small intestine arguing with each other, like a presidential debate. And I'm going to draw the brain here as the moderator in the middle. No, I mean, Irene, ick is a totally valid response. It's, The human body is kind of gross on the inside. And maybe even sometimes on the outside. So on the stream theme logo for this one, for this stream, I drew like a kind of a fancy brain. Like, let me go ahead and go back to the view here really quick. So I drew this, brain that has all these, little details, all these little curls, just, all intertwining with each other. I'm not gonna go that sophisticated here. I'm gonna just make it a little more simple. Oh, Marky Mark, why? Didn't notice your stretch redemption until just now. Time for some yoga. It's a tiny monkey on a bike trying to sing all the songs out there. That's pretty neat, Irene. I wish I had something that interesting inside myself, but I think, I'm not, actually, I don't even want to know what's in me. Alright, time for some yoga. Thank you, Marky Mark. Yeah, the 8-ball's just kind of, I don't know. I don't have the motivation to get rid of him. Too much effort. And this looks like Irene, tiny monkey on a bike trying to sing songs all throughout the neighborhood. Yeah, I can draw that. Alright, so tiny monkey on a bike trying to sing songs all throughout the neighborhood. Alright, added that to my list. Oh, Mike Brady, that is an awesome idea. Yeah, I gotta bring the fancy giraffe back. It's been a couple weeks. Alright, there we go. Added that to my list. I'll probably do that one next. Actually, no, I'll do Irene's first, then I'll do yours, Mike Brady. All right, Mike Brady, I noted those extra details there, salesman office and aerobic studio. Definitely fit those in. Mike Brady, actually, yeah, that would actually make the most sense to do it portrait. All right, there we go. So I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. Got the large intestine and a small intestine saying, "You're full of crap." He's basically right. I'm gonna go ahead and call that good. Let me go ahead and bring up the close-up view. Trees over a little bit more solid, looking pretty light. Oh, Irene Pena, thanks so much for the 100 bits. Speaking of which, her drawing request is next. Alright, tiny monkey on a bike singing songs all around the neighborhood. Oh, Mike Brady, refill, refill, refill. Mike Brady. That makes, you know what? Thanks so much for pointing that out. Kind of, I didn't even consider that factor. I was just taking the at face value, monkey on a bike singing songs around the neighborhood. But the neighborhood being Irene's, yeah, that makes perfect sense. So like maybe have different buildings representing her vital organs. That's the best way to do this. I don't know. What do you think, Irene? What do you think would be a good way to visualize this? Like have this cityscape where the. Oh, Irene, are you lurking? Cool. So like maybe do like a neighborhood where the different buildings are her vital organs, or maybe like draw a big Irene here and then have like the inside, have like a cross section where it shows the inside of her where the monkey is singing songs. Yeah, that actually makes the most sense, honestly. That goes perfectly with the request. Illustrationer, hey, how's it going? Nice to see you here. Do you stream Illustrationer? Because I can give you a shout out if you do. So I'm just finding my footing here, figuring out what I'm doing. We got Irene playing her guitar. drawing Irene, playing her guitar at her microphone. Gonna get to the monkey in just a second. Just gonna finish drawing this bass part. Alright. A couple more music notes. Alright, now let's get to the monkey. Well, lovely Mrs. DJ, thanks for the 100 bits. Alright, so here's, I think, what I'm going to do for this inside of her body. So I got the brain building right here. Yes, indeed, Mike Brady. A very lovely gesture. Greatly appreciated. Alright, so there we go. We got Irene's brain, Irene's heart. And now I'm going to draw the monkey. You know, for how much time I spent on a bike, I got to admit I'm not the best at drawing them. But I'll do my best. Go ahead and add a sun right here because it is a nice, bright, sunny day inside of Irene. You can tell she's super happy. She's doing what she loves. Alright, I think we're just about done here. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Go ahead and finish it up here for Irene, tune their music on Twitch. And I'll go ahead and bring up the close-up view. Irene, I don't know if you're still here to see this, but if not, I'll be sure to. I can definitely post it in the Discord afterwards, so you can see it. All right, thank you, Irene, for that request. I guess it was not so much a request as much as a suggestion, but thank you for the suggestion. Let's see. I guess up next is the fancy giraffe, which I guess means I need to turn this portrait direct, yeah, in the portrait direction. Hold on a second here. I think it's probably best if I draw the neck first so I can know exactly how big this building is going to be. Then draw everything inside of it. I still think you should be able to see his head. For newcomers who don't know about the fancy giraffe, it would, be best to show his head still in the drawing. Let me go ahead and scoot this down a bit so you can all see it. This is a first. This is my 51st week of Draw Something, and this is the first time I've done a portrait-oriented drawing. So I remember DJ Mike Brady saying, suggesting a salesman's office on one floor and an aerobics studio on another. Alright, so I'm drawing the draft salesman from behind the desk. I mean, I'm kind of drawing a blank of what a salesman office should look like. But I guess, like, you know, I could draw some certificates hanging on the wall. Jenga 136. Oh my gosh, thanks so much for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Let me get a shout out for you, Jenga. Jenga is another awesome art streamer here on Twitch. Definitely go give her a follow if you're not following her already. And since my shout out command isn't working at the moment, I'll just put the link to her profile in the chat. Go click it and give her a follow. Thanks so much, Jenga. How are you doing tonight? How was your stream? Jenga, so far they're going pretty well. Right now I'm drawing one of my characters, the Fancy Giraffe, which I have as an emote. Let me go ahead and pull that up. The Fancy Giraffe, DJ Mike Brady in the chat suggested drawing the Fancy Giraffe as a showing the inside of him as a high-rise building. So the theme tonight is look inside yourself, which basically means it's the inside of the human body. So I've had a couple of fun drawing suggestions already tonight. Thank you guys so much for staying, coming in and hanging out. Greatly appreciate it. So there we go. We got the salesman office right there. I'm going to go ahead and draw the aerobic studio. So, Jenga, what did you draw? I saw you say you did 3 drawing suggestions. What were they? I'm curious. Oh, no problem, Jenga. I hate when that happens. Oh, those all sound really cool. We're gonna post them all to Instagram because I'd be really happy to see them all. Alright, Jenga, cool. Can't wait to see them. Alright, got a salesman office, got an aerobic studio. What's next? Mike Brady, any suggestions? Or Jenga? Or anyone who rated in, any suggestions? This is the Fancy Giraffe is a high-rise building, so I'm trying to figure out what the third floor should be. Or the third floor down. Oh, the janitor's office. That's amazing. Well, I started doing the fancy bang, so maybe I'll do the janitor's office below that. Alright, so I'll draw a big old safe here in the bank. Then just some extra bags of money. Oh, Jenga, yeah, don't totally go eat for sure. Thanks again so much for the raid. Have a great night, Jenga. Alright, there we go. Got some mops and brooms there in the janitor's office. And that pretty much, that fills up the whole, well, the whole space. So I guess at this point I'll just go ahead and top this off with a fancy background of flowers. Or, I don't know, is that fancy? I'll just go ahead and do dollar signs in the background. All those who rated in, this is a drawing by request show. So if you have a suggestion for a drawing involving the inside of the human body, or even not even an animal's body, just go ahead and drop your suggestion in the chat, and I'll add it to my list. If you want to just keep hanging out, that's fine too. Glad you're here. I think I'm just about done with this one. Just gonna add a few more dollar signs in here. I just realized I'm gonna have to remove all these overlapping lines when I color this later. That's gonna take some extra time. But yeah, I think this is good. I'm gonna go ahead and finish it off here for DJ Mike Brady here on Twitch. Mike Brady, I'm so glad you like it. Alright, so I can't fit the whole thing on here at once, but I'll just go ahead and just kind of slide it slowly so you can see the whole thing. Salesman office, aerobic studio, fancy bank, and the janitor's office, which isn't so fancy. The janitor just, it's just the janitor's office, doesn't need to be anything fancy. All right. Let's see, what else do I got here in my list of suggestions? I know the lovely Mrs. DJ suggested a couple that I still haven't gotten to. I'm gonna go ahead and draw a sleeping foot after I turn this turn it back like this. This is normally how my paper is arranged. It's just that for that one in particular, I did a portrait orientation. All right. So I think just to amp up the adorable factor here a bit, I'm going to have a little nightcap for each of its toes. Mike Brady, thanks so much for being here. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Again, here on Twitch. Mike Brady does a show called the Thursday Night Quarantine Party every Thursday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific. It's a great time, 3 hours of great tunes. If you just want background music or you want to, actively have fun in the chat, both are a great experience. So there's DJ Mike Brady's Twitch account link. Definitely go give him a follow if you're not already following him. Actually had the amazing privilege of hosting his show a couple times. It was an awesome time. Trace this over here. Tracing over each of the little nightcaps on each of its toes. Brad Lauren Ipsum, awesome to see you here. How are you doing tonight, Brad? Right now I'm drawing a sleeping foot. go ahead and give a night side table here. Alright, so trying to keep a foot theme here. The nightside table is shaped like a foot. The lamps stand is shaped like a foot. The chain for turning out the light on and off. The light on and off is shaped like a foot. Go ahead and also add some feet to the bed. Even the moon is shaped like a foot. And I think that'll do. For the lovely Mrs. DJ Twitch. And let me go ahead and bring up the close-up view. Alrighty. Alright, so I got a another drawing I'm going to start here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw inside the mouth where a tongue, or the tongue, is going to be using the uvula as a punching bag. Which is not going to do any favors for that person's gag reflex, because, yeah, that's kind of the trigger. Also, looks like my camera has suddenly gotten all blurry. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna unplug it and re-plug it in, see if I can fix the problem. There we go. Back to normal. Just needed a quick fix there. Yeah, I got the tongue wearing a little boxing glove on its tip. Actually, hold on a second. I'm gonna reduce the size of this here because I'm gonna fit in some teeth on the side as spectators. I think that'll add to the effect a bit. Sean C72, awesome to see you. How are you doing tonight? Right now I'm drawing a tongue punching the uvula for boxing practice. My theme tonight is the inside of the human body, which I tried to cleverly name Look Inside Yourself. I think I'll just add some teeth over here on this side, and that'll do it. Got spectators on both sides of the ring. Sean C, I'm doing pretty good. Gotten some awesome requests tonight. And yeah, I think that'll probably do it. when I get around to coloring this, I'll be able to do a lot of, little tricks with coloring, have like maybe a gradient in the background to make it a little more complex, but I think this is a good framework to finish with. Really, these drawings I do are kind of like, they're done in two parts. First part is the actual, just the drawing part, where I do the framework. And then the coloring really, brings out, really brings them to life, I've discovered. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this will look in color. But for now, here is the original black and white drawing. Let me bring up the close-up view. Alright. Been at this for a little over 2 hours now, not bad. Alright. Let me see here. Alright, so I think the next drawing I'm going to do is, it's going to be a bit of a story. So I had to do some I had to do a little research for this, but basically we have the eardrum. I'm drawing the eardrum here, which is being beaten on by what's actually a scientific, actual scientific part of the ear. But I'm doing it as a funny cartoon form, so it's like, how do I? Sorry, my thoughts are jumbled and my words are just kind of spewing out. This is a two-person band between two different parts of the ear, the inner ear. Alright, so there we go. This one's hammering on the eardrum. The cochlea is blowing its horn. So now we're gonna cut to a different scene here. This is a multi-panel drawing. It's a comic. So this is all happening inside this one guy's ear. And you can actually hear the music coming out of his ear that's being produced by these guys. So he's sleeping in his bed with his wife, and she suddenly hears the music and is like, Let me just draw the backboard of their bed here. Now, when I come down here, I'm going to make the next panel of the story. So it's gonna be the wife telling her husband to put her earplugs in, or put his earplugs in. Sorry I haven't been super talkative. I really appreciate all of you who've stuck around since the raid. You raided in with Jenga. Are there any other artists in here watching? Let me know. I'm curious if you draw and what you draw, or if you paint, or what kind of artistry you take part in. Let me know if you'd like. Just trying to make some conversation, because this is just, there isn't really much to this. I'm just kind of tracing over what I've sketched. Not much to talk about. I love doing the rolled eyes expression here with just these kind of apostrophe looking marks. I know I've seen it, used in the Peanuts comics, but I don't know if that's where I don't know if that's where it originated, but it's something I've been using for years. Alright, so now that he's put the earplugs back in, he's now the earplug ends up joining the band. So yeah, this is like, it's kind of a happy ending for everyone. His wife gets to sleep, and now these two who needed a singer now have a singer. The earplug managed to complete their trio. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much done. And I think I might wrap it up here. Got a pretty good number of drawings for tonight. Sean C, thanks so much. Yeah. According to my count, I've got 8 drawings here, so I think it's probably, I think I'm probably good to call it a night. Well, there was actually one more prompt I wanted to do, so maybe I'll just go a little longer, if you guys don't mind. There's one more prompt I wanted to throw in, or draw here on paper before I call it a night. So the first drawing I did on this stream tonight was butterflies in a stomach. So I'm going back to the stomach for this last one. Alright, so what we have here is a kernel of corn in the stomach reading a book. One of the common weird things about the digestive system is that corn kernels cannot be fully digested. That's why you sometimes see corn in fecal matter, for lack of a better way of putting it. It's poop. Poop is what it is. You often see corn in poop because the corn kernels can't be fully processed. It's cellulose. So I decided to make a little bit of a joke on that and have the corn just sitting here in the stomach, just kind of waiting its time, while all the other food in the stomach is just getting boiled down. Sean C., I actually didn't have corn for dinner. I had a Italian sausage and gnocchi skillet, and it was delicious. So I'm just going to have the other foods in the stomach horrifically melting into the acid while this corn's just kind of calmly sitting there enjoying his book. Yeah, fresh corn on the cob is really good. Especially with butter. Trying to think of ways to make this look more acidic. Maybe have some bubbles spurting out of it. Mark, I can't even remember the last time I had Captain Crunch berries or any Captain Crunch cereal. For me, it's pretty much been a steady diet of Frosted Mini Wheats and Honey Bunches of Oats, with the occasional detour into Quaker Oatmeal Squares or Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because I do like those. Alright, I figured out a pretty awesome title for the book he's reading here. It's A Kernel of Truth. How fitting. Just to go extra morbid here, I'll have a hand sticking out of the out of the acid. Alright. Is there anything else I want to do here? No, I think that looks good. Go ahead and date and initial this. And bring up the close-up view. Alright, and I just remembered I had one more drawing I wanted to do. This is, man, this coloring stream is going to be a long one this Saturday. But there was one idea I thought was really clever that I wanted to illustrate, so let me go ahead and do it really quick. Alright, so I'm drawing some toes that are getting military haircuts. They're off to join the military, so they gotta get their hair buzzed. And I thought about it, you know, when you clip your toenails, you know, you ultimately make them like this tiny. So I couldn't help but compare that to, you know, getting a military haircut where no matter how big or long your hair is, or how extravagant it is, it just gets cut down to this tiny, this short. So it almost seems like you're basically giving your toenails military haircuts whenever you trim them. So that's what I wanted to illustrate here. Just kind of a silly idea. Well, that's what I like best, silly ideas. after this drawing, I'm going to be done. I'll move on to the recap, and then I'll go ahead and raid out. I have a specific raid target who's live right now that I definitely want to raid into. Yeah, there we go. We got our toenail clippers here. So we're getting back again. So I've shown the already trimmed toenails. Now I'm going to the untrimmed toenails that have some pretty wild hairstyles. You see, this one's got a big old whoop. Like that's a toenail that really needs to be trimmed. And then one more toe to wrap things up, and then that'll be it. Alright, there we go. So there we go. Toenails getting military haircuts. Nice, simple, silly drawing to end the show. Now bring up the close-up view. And since I'm already on the close-up view, I might as well just go ahead and do the recap here. So here we go. Alright, so first request of the night was from the lovely Mrs. DJ. She requested butterflies in her stomach, so I drew some happy little butterflies. Most of them were happy, except for this one who almost got hit with a stomach acid that was splurting out. So he looks a little worried, but the rest of them are super happy looking. Alright, next one. This was one I came up with myself. It's platelets sitting in a class when suddenly they have a scab drill. The wound alarm goes off, so they gotta, they gotta practice these things. They gotta, go through a lot of, training to be able to create a scab on demand. So they gotta clump together by activating and forming these tentacles, and then they clump together with each other. But they end up clumping together in this kind of lanky mess. That's not quite what their teacher is looking for, so that's a little less than ideal. But yeah, scab drill! Next up, also for the lovely Mrs. DJ, it's a funny bone. Got a bone in a fancy comedy club. And everyone else is laughing, except for this one woman who just isn't very impressed by the comedy, apparently. I mean, you really can't please everyone. That's just a fact. But yeah, he's got a bow tie. The lamps are all bone-shaped. And they're hanging from chains. That's how you know it's a fancy restaurant. Or nightclub. Oh my gosh, H.R. Johnson, I was just gonna raid you. Oh man, that's funny. Hello Elise, hello H.R. Johnson, hello Raiders. Thank you so much. Casey McMonster, great to see you again. Wait, transition back so you can see my face for a second. Thanks guys so much. Thank you so much H.R. Johnson for the raid. That is so funny. I was literally just about to raid H.R. Johnson, and she just raided me. Yeah, Elise, I was going to raid the channel that you guys just raided from. You know what? Thanks so much for the raid anyway. It's awesome. Spirit music is just starting. Brad, that's a good suggested target. Yeah, H.R. Johnson, you win this time. We'll see what happens next time. Alright, so next drawing here is, this was requested by my cousin Planetary 121. It's the large intestine and the small intestine having a debate, where the small intestine astutely states that, the large intestine is in fact full of crap. And the brain is the moderator saying, he's basically right, because really he is. The intestine is full of crap. Also, note their slogans here, bigger is better, and the best things come in small packages. Alright, next up for Irene Pena Music, who was here a little while ago, here's, she said that inside, the theme for tonight is called Look Inside of Yourself. And so she said inside of herself is a tiny monkey on a bicycle singing songs throughout the neighborhood. So I drew Irene here, playing her guitar in her happy space. And inside of her is a monkey riding past her brain, her heart, her stomach. And it's riding a little tiny bicycle and singing its songs. Yes, at least I did draw Irene. This is actually, I've drawn her a couple times. Like, this is probably at least the second time that I've drawn her. But yeah, Irene's a good friend of the channel. I've drawn her and Hippo a couple of times. Alright, next up, this was my first portrait-oriented drawing that I've done on this stream. It's the Fancy Giraffe, one of my characters. And it's him as a high-rise. Inside of him is a high-rise building. You have Fancy Sales Limited, a salesman's office. Fancy Aerobics, an aerobics studio. The Fancy Bank, which is self-explanatory. And the janitor's office, which is decidedly not so fancy. And then I just drew some dollar signs in the background to kind of take up the extra space. But yeah, the Fancy Giraffe with a monocle and top hat, I have that as an emote. It was one of the first characters I drew on the stream, like way back in week 3. This is week 51 now. So, I've come a long way. Thank you, H.R. Johnson. It's funny, most of these were actually requests. I had a whole line of prompts set up for myself tonight, but the requests just kept coming in, and I'm more than happy to fulfill them. Alright, so next up we got, for lovely Mrs. DJ, we have a sleeping foot. She said her foot was asleep. So I decided to draw a sleeping foot. It's got a nightcap for each of its toes. The nightstand dresser is shaped like a foot. The lamp has a stand shaped like a foot. The little thing on the chain that turns the light on and off is shaped like a foot. Even the moon is shaped like a foot. And alright, following that, here's a tongue fighting, or not really fighting, it's practicing. It's using the uvula as a punching bag, while the backmost teeth, probably the molars or wisdom teeth, are watching in awe. So yeah, the tongue has a little boxing glove stuck on its tip. next up, because this is the most drawings I've had in one stream for quite a while. So this is inside the ear, where you have parts of the ear, specifically the malleus hitting the eardrum and the cochlea blowing its horns, creating music. Then you zoom out to the guy in his bed with his wife, and the music is coming out of his ear. So she tells him, you need to put your earplugs in. So he puts his earplugs in and goes back to bed, and then the earplug starts singing along with the music. It's like he was the missing piece to their trio. They didn't have a singer yet, but now they do. It's a happy ending for everyone. And I think this is the last drawing. No, this is the second to last drawing. We're back on the stomach again, and we have a we have a corn kernel just sitting here relaxing in the sauna, you could say, while these other two pieces of food are just melting into the acid horrifically. He's just calmly reading his book, aptly titled A Kernel of Truth. There's even a hand sticking out of the acid that's burning away. Yes, Marky Mark, we do all love a happy, good ending. So yeah, just kind of some dark comedy here. The food's burning alive while this corn kernel is just sitting here chilling. And then this is the last one I ended with. It's toenails getting military haircuts. I thought of how when you clip your toenails, they ultimately cut down to the same super short length, which is similar to a military haircut. So I have these, toenails with outrageously long nails. And the toenail clippers is just clipping them off, and then they're off to serve. And that is it for this big old stack of drawings. Man, I think that was like, what, 10? I think I have 10 drawings tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I might actually have 11 drawings. Holy crud. Well, H.R. Johnson, I'm glad you like it. I really should be reading books more often. I haven't been doing it as much as I should be. Like, hardly at all, really. Brad, thank you so much. Big thank you to H.R. Johnson for the raid. Even though I was going to raid you first, you beat me this time. Thank you for all the comments, all the conversation. Thanks for sticking around and hanging out. This was an awesome stream. Way better than I was expecting. I'm going to go ahead and raid out. Looks like my Twitch friend Davey is eating a sandwich is still live with the Borkfest preview show. I'm going to go ahead and raid him. I was there earlier. So we're going to head over there. He does a really fun talk show called The Sandwich Show. And he's also putting together a Lego Jeep, so that'll be fun to watch. So yeah, without any further ado, I'm yeah, Brad, did he go off the air? Because on my screen he's still live. Maybe I should double check. Alright, hold on just a second here, bear with me. Alright, looks like he's still live, so I'll go ahead and raid him. So, thank you everyone. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. And take care.